Welcome to the Four Corners Racing League here today. You see some track facts up on the screen right now, a little bit under a mile, or a little bit over a mile and a half here for these guys. Hopefully it will be a pretty good race for y'all. Seems like it will be. This is a kind of a league that will be broadcasted on and off. They do have a lot of drivers in it. They are currently in their qualifying, however, so once they get done with that, we will pull up to the starting grid for these guys, but it will take them a little bit. They have about 3 more minutes left in the session to do that. But y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network. If you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that can always help us grow, especially this channel has gotten to 532 actually. I checked and it was 529, 532, and I think we can hit 600 by the end of March. If we could, that would be absolutely amazing. But again, that is all up to you. If you end up subscribing to the channel, that will just help us a ton. But it's kind of cool to see how this channel has just grown overall, and it's just been really cool to see. I mean, it really has been just awesome to see this channel grow from something small that I just made to be really doing the Cup Series stuff to growing to be this big. And that's all thanks to you all. But yeah, they got about 2 more minutes left. Let me pull up the chat here so I can monitor that. I do like to interact with you all when you are watching the stream, just so you all know that I do know you exist. That's one thing that I want to be very prevalent on most of the time. But if y'all are watching, might as well just go ahead and share it to people you know. Can't help. It can only help the channel grow. It can only help the drivers get their racing out there. There's a lot of people in this league, I will tell you that much. Looks like there's about 20, if I had to guess, 28, 29 drivers in the league. Stan Carnathan is a familiar name to me. Probably going to butcher some of these guys' names, and if you are watching again, I'm very sorry. I am absolutely horrible with names. I don't know why, but I am just bad with them. Last names, I'm just horrible with them. I guess it's me getting back at people for always saying my last name wrong. I guess. I really don't know. That's just what I'm guessing, I guess, because I'm horrible with them. You see their logo up in the top right now. Going to be rotating along with some TWR logos and a W logo. Really don't use W anymore. It's not really found a use for it. I just now realized there is a track in the middle of Las Vegas. Did not know that until now. So that's cool to see. We'll pull up the tower now so y'all can see some of the results. That is almost a dead tie for second. Brendan John Kohler looks like they actually tied with Walker Thomas. And we got some guys that are running basically identical. 5 and 6 are running identical. 7th and 8th identical. 9th is identical to that. So those guys are pretty much spot on with each other here. That's something you don't normally see, that's for sure. But waiting for the qualifying results to be pulled up. That will be a little bit because it's just loading into the next session. So there they go. I will go back to the top of it and go over the starting order. Brad Peters first, Brendan Kohler second, Walker Thomas third, Chris Worrell fourth, Austin Collins fifth, Gavin Hibbs sixth, Brandon Half seventh, Aiden Kirker eighth, 9th, Robert Ramirez 10th, Kyle Smalley 11th, Joe Anu Anzueta, that's a hard one. 12th is John Craigton, 13th, Michael Anthony, 14th, Kyle Chadwick, 15th, Brian Jones, 16th, Junior Houston, 17th, Jordan Weaver, 18th, Zach Lindgren, 19th is David Schaldhaus, 20th, Alexander Krahanke, hopefully I didn't butcher that name, 21st, Mark Adam, 22nd, Jared Wishon, 23rd, Calvin Allison, 24th, Dylan Holland, 25th, Keith Smalley, I don't know why I said Kyle, Keith Smalley, 25th, 26th, Stan Carnathan, 27th, Jeremy Brown, 28th, Nathan Yarnell, and 29th is Chris Webb. We'll go down to now the grid here. So y'all can see these guys up here. We'll pull up what you see on the left side. That will be having all the times on the track for these guys, so you will know where they are at all times pretty much for them. This is a big field, that is for sure. This is a huge field. 29. I was 2 drivers off. So I was close, but not spot on, sadly, for me. I was close. I was very, very close. I will say that much. I will wait till everybody joins to give them all a paint refresh. I'm going to do that now. So their skins will, or their cars will go white, and then they'll load them with the paint scheme that they have on, and that will have their sponsors on. I always want to make sure their sponsors are being shown. We got some replicas, some non-replicas. That's pretty cool to see here. See, it looks like 1 and 2 is in a little bit of shade. See what 3 and 4 is. 3 and 4 might be out of the shade, so that's going to pose a little bit of a struggle to these guys now, if that is out of the shade here. That's going to mean 1 and 2 will be tight. 3 and 4 will be really slick, which could actually help them even it out now that I think about it. But 130 laps here tonight. Pace car is going to pull off this time by. Starter's going to have the flag in hand. And we are underway here in the Four Corners Racing League. Almost the leaders spun their tires, it seemed. They get going. Like it'll be Brad Peters. He will lead that first lap. He's got Brendan Kohler right behind him. He's going to go down to the bottom. He's going to leave that bottom lane open, try to run that high line. He's going to burn those tires off. He's going to be able to hold it because he's going to get a run off that top line here. In the back of the pack, we got these guys going at it. Looks like we've got a lot of guys close to each other. You see Brian Jones here in the middle of the 45 car riding that high line. You see also the 5, Kyle Smollett, sporting a Kyle Larson themed paint scheme on that Chevy Camaro. This field is full of either Chevys or Fords right now. See guys running kind of the middle high line, bottom line. Nobody's really up against the wall, but Hibbs is going to have to defend against Peters because Peters is trying to get that position from him. It looks like Hibbs will be able to get that position from Peters. Take it from him there. Guys that have fallen off the pack. You see Chris Webb, he's just riding back here. You don't have to be up front from the drop of the green flag. You can just work your way up there. As Kohler, I think he might be doing that, laying off. He realizes it's so early in the race, there's no need to push. I mean, what are you going to get out of it? You're not really going to get much, so he just decided, I'm just going to lay off here and let these guys go at it. We're going to have them 3 wide, the 20. Oh, somebody just disappeared. Oh, 66. Oh, it cuts the nose off of the 20 of Junior Houston. J.R. Houston, sorry. That's the nose off of him. That could have almost ended up really bad for those guys. He just couldn't see where he was at all. Hibbs, he's just running away with it right now. Just liking what he's seeing in his rearview mirror. As long as he can see these guys go side by side with each other, he's perfectly fine with that. See, kind of just a variation over all of guys. They're running low, running mid. That mid line's probably going to burn up those tires a little bit more than what they would like, so they might want to not run up there. You can do it for a couple laps, but I wouldn't do it the whole entire race if I were them. It just seems to never work out right for people when they do it. That's why I'm kind of cautious of them getting up that high on the track. If it was me, I would not be doing that. You see, some guys are just running a little bit higher, and I don't know how much it's hurting them, but this is a big train. I mean, this is what Las Vegas is. These guys are close quarters. They're almost lined up nose to tail with each other, and they are just right on each other's bumper the whole entire time. Literally the whole entire time. I mean, look at this. This is the biggest group I've probably ever saw at a track like this being this close together. This is from second to, where's the 57th? This is second to 14th. Second to 14th are this close together. I mean, they're in this big of a group running almost nose to tail. There's just a small break between these guys. They are almost on top of each other. Almost looks like it's Daytona here. You might be able to do that, but Hibbs is liking what he's seeing. I mean, he is just running away with it right now. He's not having to worry about anything happening behind him. He really doesn't care what's happening behind him. As long as it doesn't wipe him out, that's all he cares about. Just don't get wrecked is pretty much his thought process right now. Looks like Kirker's going to try to go to the outside. An EPI driver there. Get to the outside of him. Going to try to take that position. They'll be side by side going into one. See if that Ford works with the other Ford. He looks like he will kind of just pick up a draft, decide his position. So 39 of Kirker's going to hang it on the outside of Kohler. He will be able to hold on, but not be able to get the position quite just yet. We'll see if Brendan will side draft him. He won't do it, though. Here you got the 48 is running that high line in a UPS paint scheme. That's a interesting sponsor as we got him 3 wide as that 48 of Chadwick just forced it in there. He's going to get it, but they're still going to be 3 wide. He's going to be up in that top lane. Can't come down at all because if he does, he's probably going to get turned. These guys are giving each other a lot of room. Luckily, that 48, he's just ripping that high line, trying to get it going. He probably does not want to do that for much longer because if you do that for a long period of time, those tires will get really hot and they'll start to wear off. He's going at it with the 5. It's kind of weird. Kyle Larson's paint scheme going against his old number. Definitely not the same manufacturer. That's not good. It's a Chevy. That's what it should be. Guys, looks like now they've settled to run in the bottom line. They've kind of fallen in with each other at this point. Brown and these guys are very far off pace. 12 to 15 seconds back. And they're running just a lot slower off the corner, too. I don't think they're full throttle, really. They're also not in the draft. That's one thing that's going to hurt them a lot. But now that these guys have gotten lined up, they might be able to run down Hibbs, just the draft from these guys, just cutting the errors. Yeah, they're being pretty even with each other as we have. Looks like Lindgren trying to go to the outside of Charlotte House. Be able to do it, so he's going to decide to go just back to the bottom, try another time. He realizes it's probably not worth it, as I think the 8 might have hit the apron up there because he shot up the track. That's not normal. We have somebody loose on the bottom. Able to save it, though, is the 57 of Alexander. I'm just going to say Alexander there. He saved that car, but that's going to be heating up those tires, and it's not going to want to be able to turn as he's going to have to get just blown by on the outside because of that. He's not going to have any momentum. That's just what happens sometimes. All that momentum he had is gone as a 20. He's going to go under the 66. Houston under Craigton. They're 3 wide now. I believe that's a 57. Was 3 wide with the, who was that right there? The 29, the 23, and I think the 66 was a 28. As they're 3 wide now, the 82 is up on that high line. That's Stan Carnathan going to go 3 wide there. Going to just really stay on that high line as these guys are about to be 4 wide here really soon. As that 57, he's dropping positions fast. As Stan will get pretty much 3 and 1 there for those. 05 is going to get past from the 71 of Holland. But they've been running down Gibbs a little bit slowly but surely. Now Gibbs also could be laying off and realizing I don't need to go as fast as he is. Very loose. That car is loose. We're going to go in the cockpit with him. Yep, I could hear it there in his throttle. He's loose, so he's having to run up the track to get it to tighten up, but he's going to get caught here within probably about 10 laps if I had to guess. As these guys are going at it back here. They're about 3 wide. That's the, don't want to get the number wrong. How many numbers in here? I'm not, that's a 59. As that is not actually the 59, that is Brandon Houff. He's a number 9 in the race. Sim stamped 59, so a little bit of a mix up there. Guys have settled down. I say settled down, and they'll go at it again. I guarantee they probably will. I think Hibbs, he just drove too hard too early because yeah, they are gonna just blow by him when they get to him. The 46 is gonna try to go under Chris. That's Chris and Joe going at it. As again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say some of these guys' last names because I'm going to absolutely butcher them if I say them because I am just horrible with last names. I cannot say them. 5 and the 45 going at it here. About to bring in another guy in it. Well, they're going to decide to block him off. This 5's been running that bottom. He's been really content with running it, but he's not being able to get the exit that he needs. He can't wash up to the wall like he want to when you're driving these cars, so he's having to pinch it down, burning a little bit more of that right front off, doing that at the same time. These guys are going to go 3 wide behind him. That 45 just sailed it off in the corner. The 71 might get more guys in here. He's going to squeeze it in there. He's going to get one position as he's about to get panned. Oh my gosh, they almost turned each other. Holland almost got turned off the bumper of Houston. I mean, that could have been a wreck right there easily, but those guys keep it straight. I do not know how he was not turned from that at all. They've gotten to the back bumper of Hibbs. Roll is right on the rear end of him. He's actually passed, I think, 3 drivers now because he wasn't in that position before, so he's gotten around some more people. Gets a little bit loose off the corner, though. Got to be careful about that. Just one thing, you don't want to really be mashing it off the corner. Sometimes the tires will grab, sometimes they won't. I wouldn't find out. Trust me, it doesn't end up well. Ends up pretty bad. But Hibbs, yeah, Hibbs, he's going to start dropping like a rock here because his tires are gone. They are absolutely burnt off. I don't think he's going to have any more left. I do not know if these guys have stages. We'll have to see. I don't think they do. These guys are going to get lapped here very soon. Very, very, very soon. Marcus Adams will get lapped. Chris Webb, Jeremy Brown probably get lapped here within 10-ish laps, if I had to guess. Actually, they might have a long time as these guys are dicing it up now. The 12 on the outside of the 36, trying to get that position. Oh, we got somebody loose. That was Hibbs off the corner. Got loose there. Goes down right to the bottom. That's his rear tires. They are just gone. That right rear is probably cooking itself. It's going to get even worse. Once these cars are loose, it's almost impossible to tighten them back up by driving it differently. It's just hold on at that point. See the sun glaring down on the whole entire track here, though. Really bright. You've seen all that light bounce off of these cars. Have to see. Is Kirker just kind of playing right now? He's just staying right there riding. I think that's what he's possibly doing. He realizes, yeah, I'm up here. I have the pace for it. I don't have to worry about losing time to anyone. But that 36, I think he's coming back for vengeance here. These guys are about to be 3 wide. Oh, I thought they were going to be 3 wide there for half a second. That was a 12. One on the bottom there. Very bright paint scheme. I'll give them that. Very, very bright. That 48 must have gotten loose somewhere because he's falling back and he was up there. So he has some damage here. I don't see any damage. I mean, he had to have gotten loose somewhere and about spun himself. That's the only thing I can think of. Huh. I don't know what happened with him. That's odd. Some guys have been slow movers through the field. The biggest mover right now is Dylan. Actually, not Dylan. David Schildhouse. He's up 15 positions, currently in 4th right now from where he qualified. Biggest loser is Kyle Chadwick, actually not Kyle Chadwick, it's Austin Collins. Lost 17 positions from where he qualified as he is extremely loose. Some guys have the long run pace, some guys don't. As a 6, he's going to have to fend off Polar here. Polar trying to get that position. He's not going to be able to get the run off that bottom. He's going to try to probably side draft here just a little bit. See if he can get to the quarter panel, and that's all he needs to do. We'll be able to do that. 6 kind of just lets him by. As 6 is bobbling a little bit. World's got to watch that just a tad. I saw his front tires kind of correcting a lot there. So he's probably getting just a little bit looser as the run goes on. But these guys have hit the 30 lap marks. We will take our first commercial break here.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
You saw these guys going at it up here, swapping for the lead. The 12's got it. The 6 is going to get to the inside. Almost turns in there. That's Thomas. Almost got turned off the front end of Walker. Walker's going to try to take that position back. He's going to slide up the track, drift up there a little bit. The 59 of Half is going to try to get this position. Also, maybe thinking about putting it 3 wide. He is doing that now. Going to put these guys 3 wide going into 3. He's going to back off. Decide it's maybe a little bit too early for this. Decide to ride on that bottom line. That 12 is probably a little bit better off running higher on the track, not having to put as much wheel so we can keep it a little bit tighter for him. We did have somebody go off track. Dylan Holland did. Don't know what happened to him, but I did get a notification that he was in the grass and came back on it. So very well may have gotten turned. See, some guys really starting to emerge now. Not late in the race, but later in this run, peeking their heads and being like, yeah, I'm a contender in this. I'm not just somebody who's going to ride around this whole entire time. You guys are going to have to face me here. Always what you want to see in leagues. Competition all around the track. But Half, he's going to try to get this position. If he can just get to that quarter panel, you can see him trying to get it. He just can't get close enough to it. I'm slurring over my words. I'm very tired for the past week as he's just trying to get his nose in there. The 6 is going to give him the lane. See if he can hold on to it down the backstretch. If he does it hard, it's going to be a little bit harder for that 6 to do anything. He's going to get an absolute massive run. See what Chris will do. Looks like he will just give up that position, tuck in behind him. This is a big group now. This is pretty much the top 10, all within a second of each other currently. These guys are definitely not leaving a lot of action off the track. They're always keeping it on the track, just racing each other, always being around. Back here, these guys have started to space out now. They're not really near each other as much. This is what you get when you get about 20, when you get 29 cars on the track. I think Webb, he's called it a night. He's no longer in the race. That's somebody just shot down to the bottom. Who was that? I want to see who that was because I just saw somebody shoot down to the bottom of the track, and I have absolutely zero clue who that was. But I definitely saw a car shoot down on the bottom of it. 59, he's got in the lead. 36, he's riding behind him. Both extremely high IR people, so they're going to be hard to race. 5,000 and then a 6,000 IR. Lindgren trying to get under Houston for that position. Just going to show his nose there, make him know that he's looking. You can't just keep driving a little softer now because I'm going to start appearing in that rearview mirror a little bit more, making you look, deciding where I want to go. Is Houston's going to try to go to the outside of Child House. These guys are stamped wrong in the race. But that's going to happen sometimes. Can't do anything about it. Looks like Houston's going to try to get that spot on David. He's going to run him a little bit hard, a little bit up the track too here. Not high up as he's going to step out on him. Going to be able to save it. Going to heat up that right rear tire though, so it's going to hurt him on exit. He's going to side drag. I don't think he's too happy with him. He's chasing that right rear. And he's going to tuck him behind him. I think he's trying to get to it now. If he can just get his nose just a sniff of it, he just needs just a little part of it. And I don't think he's going to be able to get it though. He's going to be a little bit too far back. No, he's got it now actually. Couldn't see from that angle, but he's got it. Going to go down and try it again. Second time's the charm here for him. See if he can do it. Going to wrap that bottom. See if he gets snappy loose like he did before. He won't. Actually wiggles just a little bit, but not a lot. He just can't get that position on him. That at 0-2 of Child House, he's just getting such a good run on that outside. There's just nothing that he can do as we have a caution out on the track, so that very well could be a stage here. I believe that possibly is. Have to see for sure. Because I don't see anybody wrecked on the track. So that is probably the first caution of the race here if I had to guess for these guys. As that's why, Steam, you're trying to update video games. I don't want you to do that. Please stop. But I do expect everybody to come down pit road. There's not going to be a single person that stays out. That would not be a good idea. Those tires are worn. I mean, they are worn. Guys, so I start off running 31s. They're running 35s, 36, 37s in the race here now. So those tires are getting cooked. And they are definitely wearing here. And this track's kind of a cookie cutter track too. Not cookie cutter, a tire shredding track also. Yes, everybody's going to come down pit road right now. So I have to see who can get in here clean. And clean in, clean out. It's not going to hurt you as much early on. You can slide over your box here. Would you want to do it? No. Is it going to end your race? No. But it's always better to just try to be pretty much dead on with it. That's just a better thing overall to do. Have to see who wins it out. As that are some very fast pit times there. As it looks like the 36, he'll actually beat them all out. These guys are going to filter off of pit road now. Did not even know that I had that camera. That's a pretty cool camera, though. I will say that much. I know some of these guys are glad to see a caution out, as Chadwick must have some broken steering there. That's why he was in pits for so long. His pit stop was 32 seconds, so he could getting some optional damage fixed there. So it might have been making his car pretty tight. I had to guess. The 71. That's what brought out the caution here. I think, yes. That's what brought out the caution. He has a smashed in right front. Did not see. Yeah, that's definitely some damage. I don't know if that's what the caution was for, but that's not. It's not normal. I think he's having to wait for all those guys to pass right now. We get a caution at lap 43 of the race. Let me just look at some info here just to make sure. Let me just. I don't see anything about that. I should have asked him before. Yeah, I don't see anything right now. So that's just going to be a big wild guess for me. You guys will probably be getting the green with, or on lap 48. They'll come around to complete lap 47 of the race, though, for these guys. Pretty good first run, though. I mean, these guys were being nose to tail with each other, it seems. I mean, they were not beating and banging off each other either, too. It was all clean racing, which is what you want to see in leagues. That's one thing that leagues will kind of be very. They strive for that. If I can, yeah, I guess it's a good word. They strive for it. They want to see people racing super hard. It's always good for the broadcast to see that. As Chadwick has came down pit road again, as he's just topping off on fuel. Holland, yeah, I think that was what brought out the caution. I didn't get notification for it because he spent a whole minute on pit road there, which is not normal unless you got some damage to get fixed. So they will get the green on lap 48 of the race here. Lap 75 will be halfway, so they'll be a little bit longer than their fuel, or a little bit shorter than their fuel run to the halfway point in the race. But Looks like Kohler's going to get a pretty big jump on the field there and leave them all. Kohler's actually going to lose the lead to Walker Thomas. Walker got on the outside of him and passed him, I think. He's going to settle into the lead here. He's got to be careful to not do what Hibbs did and burn off his tires, because Hibbs, once he started to burn them off, they did not end up well. They started to really heat up, and he was just loose overall. Couldn't keep the car from under him, and it was just sliding around. That's not a good feeling sometimes. If you're a dirt track racer, yeah, that's supposed to happen. If you're a NASCAR driver, probably shouldn't have happened. Not a good thing to feel. This is 6 of World's going to go side by side with Howe on that bottom line. He's going to get that position, though. So it looks like early on these guys like to run that high line. Then they move down to the bottom after a couple of laps. Now, if they're single file, they all run the bottom. If they're double file, then you can't all run the bottom. We got these guys almost 3 wide back here. This is the 95 of Hibbs. Got to pick his way back through this mess to get back up front. Some guys have been up and down the whole entire race. The biggest move right now is Calvin Allison, up 19 positions from where he qualified. He's currently sitting in 4th. So he is definitely having a good night here so far. I hadn't put that back up there. Sorry, y'all. Literally just realized that. And I was like, I probably should put that scoreboard back up so they can see who's where. Lindgren. Oh, he's going to get that position from Worrell. But Worrell, he's probably laying off. How do you 4.5K IR in B class? What? Oh, these guys are getting close on each other. That 39 is almost going to get turned there. Rossi couldn't come down. I guarantee you that 45 probably came over the radio and was asking, what are you doing? Brian Jones probably was saying that because that could have been extremely bad. Car could have went around very easily, and I would have not been very surprised by that either. .36 going to go back under Walker, try to get the lead here, see how hard Walker's going to defend. Don't think he's going to defend too hard here, though. No, he's going to pretty much let him by. He's just going to stay on that top line. He will have a while until he can tuck back in, though, so he's going to have to figure out when is he going to be able to get down to that bottom line. I think he's lifting, trying to find something. Got a gap here between the 20 and the 28 in front of him. Got to take it, though, and he won't take it. He's going to fight off that corner, so maybe he's just deciding I'm going to pick it up now, see what this top line can do for about 2 or 3 laps. Go ahead and sacrifice some tire wear and get right back down to the bottom. Better to make your move, get it done and over with, than have to be worrying about being stuck up in that top lane and getting down to the bottom. And out the hard way also. Just go ahead and pass him. Kohler's been, no, we got these guys dicing it back here now. I keep on looking up front and they start dicing it again in the back. It's like nothing slows down back there between these guys. They are always go, go, go. Move as fast as they can. I mean, you are racing, so. At 48, I think he's got most of his damage fixed. We'll go cockpit with him. Yeah, I think it's fixed. Looks like it from my point of view. At 28, if Allison's going to get to the bumper of Kohler now, try to get that position. He's going to go to the outside instead, try something a little bit new. Say, hey, I'm going to go up here where you're running the bottom. I'm going to go where you aren't. See if it'll work for him. He will get that lead going off of. Dude, he will just sail it in there. I think Brendan might have let Calvin go because that did not look like he was fighting very hard for that position. We've got guys bouncing off each other right now back here. They are side by side with each other. Hal sticking out like a sore thumb with that yellow car. I keep looking back here and I see that car first thing because it's all almost yellow, black, white. It's not hard. It's pretty hard to miss. Most of these guys are just kind of stuck side by side with each other. When you get side by side in these cars, the side drafting them is it's so hard too. I mean, it is a vicious side draft that they have. And you almost drop about 15 miles an hour immediately. I mean, it's that fast. So I know some guys are probably like, please do not side draft me. I do not want to have to deal with this. And I would not be blaming them either. As Collins is down pit road. Not sure why. Going to be getting 4 tires and fuel here. And then sitting on pit road. Does he have some damage that I don't see? I don't see any damage. A bit confused right there. But Allison, I mean, he's just stretched out a lead. I think these guys got side by side with each other and they started messing each other up as Houston's now working his way up through this pack, coming up here slowly but surely. But Calvin Allison, he is up 22 spots from where he started. That's a march through the field, literal march through the field right here from him. Running that Bolt design paint scheme there. Probably that's who made his sponsor, or made his paint scheme, if I had to guess. Jones, he's going to get to the outside of Weaver, take that position from him. He's going to hold on to him a little bit. Weaver won't be able to do much, though. Being stuck on that bottom. But 39. Kirk going to ride that outside line, see if he can get something going. Going to stick for him a little bit, trying to get to the outside of Jones. Won't be able to do it. Going to tuck in behind him, get that draft. Up front, it's pretty much a 6-car breakaway, really. Lindgren is the last car that's holding on to this line. Allison, he's just run away with it right now. Houston can't catch his draft. He's too far back to do anything. So these guys are really going to have to focus, go single file with each other. And that's what they're doing so far. I think they've realized we can't catch Allison unless we straighten it out here. As soon as I say that, they're going to start passing each other. Walker under Joe. I'm not even going to try to say his last name because I'm going to absolutely butcher it. Hibbs, I think Hibbs can maybe still have a chance at this. He's working his way up here, but I don't know how long he has to do it. I mean, he's got a while to do it. I mean, he's probably got another caution at least to do it. I don't know. I just don't know if he can do it. Yeah, I think Collins, he's left. Collins, I don't think he's here anymore. Sometimes you get in races and you're like, well, can't do anything. Kind of throwing the towel at that point. produce a little bit of an on-board sound here for about 5 laps. You all will still get the ticker. I will put that up in the top. It'll be rotating through there, but we will go on board with some of these guys here, and I will turn off these filters. Hear just a little bit of pedaling from some of these drivers trying to keep those tires under it. But Houston's not really being able to run down Allison. If he can get within 6/10, though, that's when the draft starts to play an effect, and you'll be able to suck up to that guy in front of you. He also does have the 36 kind of pushing him also. The 36 really isn't trying to go around him. Really just deciding, I'm just going to kind of ride behind you and give you a arrow shove more often. You can also be saving tires by doing that. That's the option that he has right now currently. Allison looks like he's just running away with it at this point. I do think there's going to be at least one more caution, so we'll probably bring these guys back all together. These guys back here kind of started to, I think this is what you're seeing fall off. They're all just so close to each other as somebody is off the track, as that is Anthony. Michael Anthony. I do not know why he's down there. We'll go back and see what happened to him, though. Why are you off track there, bud? Probably just steps out from him. He just drives it down to the inside of the infield. Luckily, that's a pretty good save from him, too. Doesn't overcorrect, doesn't try to yank the wheel, doesn't really probably burn off tires doing that either. But Stan Carnathan slowly working his way up here. Taking him a while to do it, doing it the slow and steady way. As somebody goes down to the inside, that's Jordan Weaver. Stepped out on him again. Or that's actually a second driver we saw it step out on. But see if that was the exact same thing that happened to the person before him. As, yep, it just stepped out on him out of nowhere. Just like we saw a lap before. Guys are probably taking note of that, but Houston is now catching Allison very slowly. As Allison, he is extremely slow, or they are either just shoving hard, because they just gained about 4/10 on him in the matter of about 3 seconds. These guys are definitely booking it on each other, trying to get up there. And I think Allison might have a challenge to end now finally for him. Five, he's having to deal with the 6. Worley's all over Smalley, trying to get that position. If he can get to that quarter panel, might be over for the 5. He won't be able to do it, though. That 5's going to hold him off a little bit longer here, make him work a little bit more, realize, it's not going to be that easy, bud. Have to fight a little bit harder here, pal. I'm sorry, I don't know why that's freezing on you all. When I say freezing, the cars are loading. Evidently, iRacing's like, I don't want to connect with you very well. But luckily it's not. It's not huge disconnects that we're seeing. I'll have to see what that is about, though. These guys caught up to him very quickly, though. I mean, well, I say quickly. It took them a little bit to do it, but once they really started working on each other, it seemed to go by pretty fast for him. Now, one thing that Allison's going to want to see, though, is side-by-side racing from the 20 and 36, so they can go away from him. He doesn't want to see this right now. He'd rather be able to drive nice and calm, even if there's almost no calm in racing. Oh, there's another guy loose. That's a 95. Shot down the track just a little bit. Saved it, though. We're seeing guys on exit getting a little bit pushy. Finding out the hard way, we probably shouldn't be doing that. I just realized I didn't put that limiter back on. Again, if one of y'all can comment in the chat so I know y'all are alive. I just want to make sure y'all aren't dead yet. Haven't said anybody say anything. Normally we have at least one person say something, but if you don't want to, that's fine also. I can't make you. Let's see what that 48 is. Yeah, he's had a rough night. He was doing very, very good early on, and I think he must have hurt his steering pretty bad. Because he doesn't have the same speed that he did before. It kind of sucks for him also. I mean, he was doing very well. Now these guys are a little bit past halfway. We will take our second commercial break here. We will only have one more left after that, and then there will be nothing after that as the 59 bobbles coming out of the corner. You will still see the action side by side here, as it will be popped up on the right side of your screen. Ads will be on the left side, so you won't miss anything.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion.
As we're cutting that short, as there's a caution on the track, Ramirez and Wishon have crashed here. 2 drivers involved. Go back and he hit the apron. This is going to end up bad for him. Ramirez probably had literally nowhere to go, so Stan is loose. He's trying to save it. He hits the apron. 27, I think he's realizing what Stan's doing right in front of him. He hits the apron also. This might be a little bit of a stack-up incident here, had to guess. So 27 goes to the outside, and he hits the wall, and then he bounces off the wall. Yep, and he hits Ramirez. Ramirez, an innocent bystander here, gets clipped. He goes into the outside wall just barely, though. These guys don't hit hard. I think he honestly just barely scraped it the whole entire time there, so I don't think those guys will be too hurt. Probably coming up on pit stops anyway. But that's a changer here, that's for sure. we already got guys down pit road. So everybody's going to come down pit road. I think the 7-1's taking his wave around right now. But guys are going to get these old tires off. You do not want these tires on anymore. Load it full of fuel. Keep that rear end down. Looked like Allison was the guy to catch, though, that time. As looks like Kohler will actually beat Allison off pit road. Looks like Kohler, he will win that race. So, going to be coming to green at lap 87, 88, I think, for these guys. And they'll snatch the green here. So, it's going to allow some guys that had some damage. Ramirez, I don't think he got bad damage. Wishing, I don't think his damage is bad. He's getting a lot of it fixed, though, so it may be the toe link that was hit. We'll see. Is that straight? Looks pretty fine. I don't think he has any significant damage on that car. Yeah, I don't think he got hit too hard. Ramirez, I think he's completely fine. Yeah, he doesn't have any front-end damage. He really didn't even hit the wall that hard either. So kind of these... Kohler's been up front the whole entire time. Allison has. Houston's emerged late in this race. And he's showing that he's a guy that you're going to have to race against here. And yes, these guys probably can't go to the end on fuel. It'll be a little bit closer. We will run this ad for Noah Owens here very quickly, though. It's for a good cause.
Some heroes walk on 4 legs. I'm Jason Johnson, founder of Project K9 Hero. Not every retired police K9 or military working dog has a home to go to in retirement. We strive to ensure no hero is left behind. We cover the medical needs of our program members after their faithful service. Our organization also provides a lifetime sanctuary for many of these heroes who may suffer from PTSD. And whenever possible, we find them a forever home. Visit ProjectK9Hero.org to learn how you can help protect those who protected us.
See, that was the ad there that Noah Owens had made. I need to get the higher quality version. One he sent me was not sized right, so I actually had to resize it. You can tell it doesn't like that quality. It doesn't like to be resized anymore, because we lose a lot of stuff. They'll be getting the green flag next time by us. It'll be lap 88 when they get it here. Gonna wad this whole field up, so it's gonna change a lot of stuff. Somebody makes a mistake when you're this close, that could fake out whole field, or a lot of drivers will be taken out. Might turn into Daytona last year, the race that Austin Dillon won, where he was literally pretty much the only car that didn't have any damage. Pace car's going to pull off here, though. Kohler will lead him to green. Houston will be on the bottom of him. Starter's going to have the flag in his hand. As green flag is in the air, we are back underway here in the Four Corners Racing League. Looks like Kohler, he will get the lead. Houston's going to fall in second. Allison, he will go to third. Lindgren and Schaldhaus are going at it back here for fourth position right now. Trying to see who wants it more. Looks like it will be Schaldhaus who will get that position, but Lindgren's going to go right down to the bottom and try to do a little bit of a crossover move so he can get his nose in there. He's going to be able to get his nose, but I don't know if he'll be able to get the pass because those fresh tires seem to be pretty difficult to get around on that top line. Just can't drive around them like you would like to. Sorry, not 95. Yes, 95. He's starting to work his way back up here. Hibbs, who was up here early in the race and burned off his right rear tire, made it really mad. Couldn't get any grip after that. He's found his way back up here slowly but surely. Sometimes races are just races of nutrition. Learned a little bit as that 20 hits the apron and bobbles. Schaldhaus bobbles that, was able to save it. You do not want to hit that apron. Car does not like it, as you just found out right there the hard way. So he's probably going to stay well away from that from now on. Hibbs is going to go to the outside of Allison. Got to be careful, though, going this fast this early because he is flying past these guys right now. But that's a good thing and a bad thing because those tires could be going south really quickly for him. This 48 can rebound. He was up there early in the race. He just fell off really fast, so he might be able to get his spots back that he lost, work his way back up slowly but surely. Guys will be coming. 2:40 to go here in the next 7 laps. Hibbs, yep, Hibbs has gotten the lead now. I didn't see him take it. But we'll have to see. Has he learned his lesson to not burn off those tires? He got it like this earlier, ran away with it, and then slipped up once. And once he slipped up once, those rear tires were gone after that. Did not want to give him any amount of grip. He was very loose. And I mean very loose from that point on. The 45, he's ripping that high line though. That's Jones trying to get around him. Try to get a spot from Walker Thomas. Walker decided, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to have you shove me instead. And it's going to get me up there closer to these guys. But that 45, he's going to stay in that high line. He's actually going to go to the outside of Thomas. Going to get that position from him. They're going to fight for it now going down into, we're going across the start-finish line. Fight for it going into one. Walker's going to have no choice but to stay on the bottom. Jones is going to have to run that middle line here. He's going to wrap it pretty well. He's going to get a pretty decent run off too. Not a very bad one from him. Able to hold it there. But Gibbs, I really want to see, has Gibbs realized I can't go full out early on? And can they make it on fuel? They put it on lap 84. That's the question. Can they go all the way on their fuel run here? I'm not completely sure if they can or not. I'm hoping they can. Hoping is the key word. Yep, Gibbs, he's going to get probably passed back here. I think he's... Now, he could be laying off, too. He could realize, okay, I'm not going to get out as far ahead. I'm going to let these guys pass me. Because you can tuck in behind the draft and draft behind somebody. And that's not a bad option to do either. It's always a good thing to learn. No, whereas maybe I don't want to be running up front. I'm just going to run behind somebody the whole entire time. Guys are getting into the big old pack now. I'm almost running nose to tail. Houston has actually taken the lead. See how long he's going to hold on to it here for. I hope these guys go side by side with each other. That's really what he wants to see. But the 36 must have bobbled somewhere because he's back to 7th right now as they're thinking of putting it 3 wide. Allison he was trying to get to the quarter panel. That 97 couldn't do it though. I mean, he was right there at it, and he just closed the door on him. As that 97 is going to get loose, going to get a little bit of swipe from the 26, going to send him up the track in the wall, so it's going to slow him down the backstretch. We're all going to blow by him, so Hibbs makes a mistake. Going to allow Schildhouse to try to catch him now. Schildhouse, oh, he got loose off that corner. He's just trying to get there as a 36 reappears as he will be sent down to the inside. Blinked out, came back. Luckily, he saves it, locks it down, but that will bring out a caution here as that is not the fault of anybody but the internet provider for the 36 because he blinked out there and he came back, and we'll watch it here. We'll watch a rear chase. So right now, he's nowhere on the track. I'm going to have to go to where he is. Can I get a TV view on him? So there he is. Okay, so we'll go to the 95 of Hibbs because Hibbs did nothing wrong here. There is nothing he can do about this. So right there, 36 is gone. Nobody has any clue where he is. And he's going to reappear. And Hibbs, there's nothing he can do. Hibbs cannot see him there at all. I mean, he is gone from his screen. He just pops back up. So that is nothing. There's nothing that Hibbs can do about that there. But I do expect everybody to come down pit road. They're going to take 4 tires and fuel here. I would not think you're going to stay out. That'd probably be a bad idea. Tires are going to be cooked. Going to be cooked off. Everybody's going to come down pit road. We'll have to see how the race off pit road goes, though, for these guys. So who's going to win that race coming off the track here? That's going to be the big question. Who can win it coming off? We're going to already go to the pit lane cam. He wins it off. It looks like it will be Schildhouse who actually wins that off as he's disappeared. Should pop up somewhere on the track here, hopefully. Like, I'm not the only one having it. Yeah, Schildhouse is gone. Oh, there he is. Now he's back on the track. Still says he's in the pit because it has it refreshed where he was not in it. So it's going to say that right now. Give it some time to refresh on that. That's what happens when a driver disappears from the race for about literally half a second when he's coming off pit road. It's not going to register him being there, which is normal. So when he comes across the start-finish line, it'll say that he's on the track now. I know that. It will fix itself. Let me look at this right here, though, for you all very quickly. We will do this and stress it more. Actually, didn't even do it. What? I didn't even do anything to it. What? Okay, well, whatever. Hopefully that might have done something to you all. I set it to do 2 passes instead of 1 for the stream, so it should be a little bit of a better quality for you. Just a little bit, not a lot, though. It's a good quality. Tuning high quality. Yep, okay, so I'm going to leave it on that. That actually didn't even use up anything else extra. I'm surprised by that. They'll get the green at lap 106 here. It's going to be interesting. Who's going to start making moves? Because this is the point of the race when I think these guys are going to realize You know what? I've got tires here. Not as long of a run. Let's just send it. See what happens. What I think some guys are going to kind of come to the conclusion to. But I really have no idea who's going to win it now. I mean, this is just up in the air for somebody. This is really up in the air at this point. It's who do you want to take type of moment for these guys right now. They're going to get the green at 106. Only 3 cautions in the race, and that last one wasn't Hibbs doing. There's literally nothing that man can do. I mean, there's nothing he can do at that point. That's nothing. There's no blame that can fall on him. Pace car is going to pull off here, though. Childhouse and Allison making up the front 2 rows. 24 laps left in the race. Pace car pulls off here. Starter has the flag in hand, going to enter the Geico restart zone as we are back underway here in the Four Corners Racing League. It'll be Childhouse who would maintain the lead. Allison's looking for it on the outside, though. Trying to get to that quarter panel. If he can just get his nose there, he knows he can suck him right back to him. It's just a matter of, can you get to it? It's going to be so difficult for him. One thing that a lot of guys will tend to struggle with is he's going to get to the outside of Childhouse. Childhouse can't go up anymore, so Allison might take the lead coming out of 4. See how aggressive. He will be for this position. He's going to side draft each other a little bit harder there. Allison going to just grab it for half a second from Childhouse. Childhouse is going to have to run that bottom, going to be pinching off his exit, cooking up that right front tire instead of the right rear. But look at how Houston's watching this being like, oh yeah, you guys can do this. Don't mind me right here just watching you guys burn them off. Going to be coming to 22 to go here for these guys. Be swapping positions all the time now. As Houston's going to go to the outside of Childhouse now. Is Childhouse saving and just waiting to turn it up here? He knows everybody else is running hard, but he isn't. So he could be playing a little bit of a mind game with these guys right now, currently saying, you know what, you guys can go run hard. I'm going to go run pretty soft. You guys can go burn them up. I'll just watch you do that. About to go for sprawling out back here now. They are really going at it. Nobody's taking anything off their punches. Punches are being thrown, and it's just full force at this point right now from them. Oh, he got loose. I saw that bobble there. He got a little bit loose. It wasn't really noticeable, but I did see him start to wiggle around just a tiny bit. coming off that corner right there. That is not what you want to feel when you're driving these cars. To try to step out from under you. Can Houston make a run? That is their 4 wide back here. The 5:45 and the 31 putting it 3 wide. That 5 is going to have to hope that he can get a run on the outside here. He won't be able to do it, so they'll be stuck 3 wide. Doesn't really have a drafting help. Now he has a little bit of help from that Ford in front of him. He's going to draft off of that. He'll gain 2 positions from it. That's Kyle Smalley moving up here late in the race. Allison, he's just setting sail right now, just letting these guys do what they do. But how has Houston been driving? How have other people been driving? Are they just waiting to start letting it rip? I know some guys are probably going just all they can, all out so far. It's just, do you do it right now is a better question. How long do you wait? Allison, I know he wants to see these guys start going side by side with each other. He doesn't want to see them go single file. When they're side by side, slowing each other down, side draft is hampering them from moving anywhere. But what he's seeing right now, he probably doesn't like it one bit from him. Gonna get antsy. This is gonna get real antsy. As we got him loose, that was the 0-2, I think, shot down to the inside. He saved it, though. Doesn't lose that many positions. Really only loses 2, but those tires are going to be a little bit warmer because of that. He's trying to get caught back up. Lindgren will pass him, or try to pass him. Won't be able to do it fully, though, where he's hanging down on that bottom lane. And see if he can get that pass done on him now. He still isn't able to do it. You guys are going 4 wide of 95, ripping that top line here. Cool to see people rip the top line if they can do it and not get loose and have the car step out on them. Always fun to watch. But Houston has gotten the lead while all that was happening. I did not even notice that. He took it from Allison. Looks like Allison might have bobbled because he's behind Half also. Can Allison go catch these guys? Got to work his way back up. The 6 drifts up the track. Going to push Allison up there. I think the 6 realized it's a better shot with Allison as we have somebody around. That's going to bring out a yellow flag. Oh, my Lord. This changes everything. As that is Brad Peters who is around. I think, yeah, that totally is gone. Broken on him. Got loose off of 2. He got tagged, I think, by the 42 here. Oh, so that car is stepping out. 42 can't do anything about this. He just hits the 05, and the 42 pounds that wall. Looks like the 71 to 23 were involved. Ooh, that's a broken steering for somebody else also, but that right front tire is not pointed. You'll see right here. Oh, it actually is pointed straight. What? I didn't think his tires were pointed straight there. I was wrong. Now, this is a split decision. Do you come down pit road and take another set of tires? If you're these guys, I think you do it. I really think that you need to come down pit road and take them. Everybody's coming down pit road. This is probably going to be a 4-tire stop. But do you gamble and see what else you can do coming off? That's the big question. How much do you gamble on pit road? I think everybody's going to take 4s. They will. But Thomas took 2. I take that back. He will win the race off of pit road. everybody else come off. And I think Walker is about to be eaten alive here. I mean, it is going to go bad for him. He's the only guy that took 2 tires on that stop. Nobody else did. And when you pit like this, you're hoping the guys behind you pit and take 2 also. They took 4 instead. So he's going to have to fight really, really hard for this. And I really don't know if he can do it. I mean, it's just the tires are just such a huge difference at tracks like this. I mean, it's a huge, huge difference. And it's, I don't have a good feeling about this. I really do not have a good feeling about this at all. Oh, Lord. Thomas, this is going to be hard for you, bud. This is going to be difficult for you. But... oh, Lord. This is what happens sometimes. I mean, it's a gamble now. If he gets a quick caution again, then it works out for him. That's if he gets a quick caution again. There's no guarantee on that whatsoever. What do you do here now? I don't feel so good for Thomas. Why does it still say he's in pits? It's weird. He's definitely not in the pits. I don't know why it's saying that. I'll do a refresh here and I'll see. This is going to go away for half a second. Don't know why it's still putting him as being in the pits because he's definitely not. Oh, it might have been where he... no, it took him off there. That was weird. It was still saying he was in pit lane. It might have been where he blinked coming off of pit road. And it cut... no, I don't think he blinked off pit road. That was odd. It still said he was in the pit lane, but he evidently wasn't. So sorry about that. But Thomas, he's got to fend these guys off for 10 laps. And I don't know if he can do it. That's not his driving. It's just the tire difference is just so huge. I mean, he's got to get a massive jump here, too. Starter's going to have the flag in his hand. Pace car pulls off. And we are back underway here in the Four Corners Racing League. Thomas, he got put 3 wide. He will lose that lead here just like I thought. That'll put Calvin Allison to the lead with 8 to go. Can Houston mount a charge here? He's been doing good the whole entire race. Now, this is the point in the race when you start ripping this high line. Doesn't care about the tires anymore as he gets a little bit of a tap from the 59 of Hauff, which is a 9 this race, as they are 3 wide for about 3 rows, it seems, back there. Allison, he just wants to see the green flag stay in the air because he has lead right now currently as they're 4 wide now. They are not going to make this work as they somehow do. Oh, this Thomas is getting eaten up on these old tires. I mean, he cannot go anywhere as a 5 is turned hard into the wall. The 45 is involved also. And round of caution here. The 2 is involved with it. That 5 was stuck behind a slow car, and I think he... Oh, actually, the 45 gets clipped here. He might have came down just a little bit. Go from a far chase, slow it down. The 8's coming up the track just clips the 45, and he right rears the 5, and this 5 hits hard. And he pounds that inside or outside wall, and he basically flips the car, goes up on the catch fence. The 57's involved in it also. More guys are involved than what I thought, as that immediately breaks the rear suspension of that car. You see the roof flaps are up, trying to slow it down. But that was a hard, hard hit for him. Not what you want to see. But I think we just found out if everybody else takes tires, you should probably do it too. Not do 2 tires, as Thomas found that out very quickly. This will probably bring him 2, 3 to go here. So it will be a green-white, unofficial green-white checker attempt for him. Yeah, so lights will stay on the pace car at least one more time. You got guys coming down pit road. Some of these guys were involved in the wreck. Some of them had to just lock it down. This could also be a Hail Mary throw from some of them. And just see what happens. I mean, it can't hurt you. Why not try? This late in the race. I mean, if you're back there, you've been back there the whole entire time. Just see what you can do. These guys are under caution. We didn't get to do our last ad breaks. We will do that now, but we will be back before it goes green.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
See, we are back here. Lights have just went off on the pace car. How hard are these guys going to drive each other now? This is when gloves are off. No one's going to care what happens. Oh, Lord. How are these guys going to race each other? This is when stuff hits the fan. And it goes south quick. Really, really quick. Oh, my Lord. What is going to happen with these guys? I don't even know myself. Hopefully they don't wreck each other, but that being said, probably going to happen now. See, pace car is going to pull off this time by Allison. He controls the start. Keep that in mind. Whenever he goes, then everyone else goes. Starter has the flag in his hand. Allison gets a jump on the field, though. Goes early in the restart zone. A unofficial green-white checkered attempt here. See how these guys race each other. Can the 31 of Adams get to the bumper of him? Adams hasn't been really up here the whole entire night. But how much did he save his tires here? May come down to that. He's going to get a run down the backstretch because of this draft he's going to get from him. But they're wrecking behind. Here's somebody spinning to the inside. That's the 39. Yellow flag is now in the air. So they will go to a green-white checkered attempt here officially. We'll go and see what happened. They are 3 wide back here. As the... Okay, so... 42. So Ramirez starts with him somewhere. So... He comes up, taps the 49, or the 39, then hits Stan because he bounces off of him. Then Stan clobbers that 39. He can't do anything about that. And then, yeah, 39 then spins off Stan's bumpers. And the 2 hits him also. So that brings out a caution here. So they will now go to a official green-white checkered attempt, as that's only the 6th caution of the race. They've gone 160 laps. Pretty good so far. I will give them that. They've done very good. It's been on top of each other the whole entire time, pretty much. Allison, he probably didn't want to see that, though, if I had to guess. If I was him, I wouldn't have wanted to see that. Gosh, it's going to come down to this. Cautions breed cautions. Look at the 48 working his way back up here. Almost where he started. I still want to know what happened to him early on, because he just bounced off. I think he had to have bounced off the wall. He was doing pretty good. That's the only thing I could think that would slow him down as much as he did. He had to have gotten into something that didn't go very well for him. guys will be getting the green flag, not next time by, but the time after that, because they're still waiting to fully get around the track again. Again, if y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that will help us grow a lot. Up to 536 right now. I think we can hit 600 by the end of March. I think that is a very, very possible thing that we can do, and I'm hoping that we can do it, but that is all up to you all. I cannot make you all subscribe to the channel one bit, as I wish I would be able to run some of these open ones. Shane is still in Moonshiners. That means Kenny's still probably in Moonshiners, but you see one of the sponsors up in the top right, Team Watson Racing setup. If you use code WATSSPIN39, that is WATSPIN39, you can get 5% off your purchase of a racing set. They also have a subscription service, $25 a month for the A, B, and C class. It is updated throughout the week. Also, that will, if you use that code on that, you will get $2 off your subscription to start with. I don't think it's a renewing one, but I don't think that code carries over, sadly. I can probably persuade them to do that. I'm a driver for Team Watson Racing also, so I use their setup all the time. They are looser than normal. You got to get used to that, but they are very fast. Kenny spends a lot of time on making the sets. He wants them to be as fast as they can get, and if he loses a race, he immediately goes back to the drawing board trying to get it faster, which is one good thing about him. Always trying to pick up speed, even if it is just a little bit of speed. He's just always trying to get it, no matter what. As we are at 537, it says for me. So thank you to whoever subscribed to 538. Thank you to whoever is subscribing later on in the race. Again, you can always hit that subscribe button. You can always take that subscription back. Won't hurt me at all. Actually, it will hurt me at all. Won't hurt you at all, though, because you don't pay anything. It's just a button y'all click, but thank you all for subscribing if you haven't done that just yet. But going to be Allison, Adams, Houston, Lindgren, and Worrell here. As green flag flies in the air, Allison doesn't get a big jump. That's going to get Houston on his bumper now. Houston's probably going to try to send it on this outside line, so Allison's probably going to have to run a little bit higher to block that run that Houston's going to try to get, as he's going to run pretty much the middle line through 1 and 2. Not allow Houston to get a run. Houston's going to have no choice but to arrow shove Allison down this backstretch. He's going to be boxed in because of Adams. These guys going at it now. Houston's going to try to ride that outside line, see if he can get a run here. He might have one coming off the 3 and 4. It's going to be white flag in the air, though, for Allison here. He wants to see Houston and Adams stay side by side with each other, but if he bobbles once, these guys are ready to pounce on him here. Allison going to go into 1 and 2, ride that high line. Houston going to ride that bottom line, wash up the track, get a little bit tight. This might be Allison's race to lose here. He's going to have one more shot to send it down there. We have somebody shooting down to the bottom of the track now, but Allison will go into 3, and he will come out of 4, and he will win the race here for the Four Corners Racing League as they are wrecking across the finish line. Adams will come 2nd. Houston will come 3rd. Worrell 4th. And Houth 5th, as these guys are just junking each other after it. There is a wreck coming to the finish. 12 probably learned I should have taken 4 the hard way. But Calvin Allison, he will take home the win here at Las Vegas. What stays in Vegas, or happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. He's going to go burn it down now. Must be his teammate if I had to guess here. This guy's pulling up nose to tail with each other. I will pull up the race results, however, and then we will bring in the top 3 for the interviews. See it pop up there on your screen now. So we will get J.R. Houston in here, as he's already in the waiting room, so I will drag him in here. Hey, JR, this is Bryce in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I gotcha.
Man, so you come home third. You fall just a little short. But, how did the race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checker, though, man?
Honestly, it was a pretty uneventful race. Just kind of bided my time getting used to the car early in the race, and then we got closer to the front, and I don't know, just kept digging. I had my teammate Calvin there pretty much telling me how to drive, and made it work. Marcus unfortunately beat me at the line there by just a hair. Couldn't get the teammate 1-2, but it was a good time.
Yeah, it definitely seems like, you weren't up there early on, then you kind of emerged from nowhere and you were battling for that win. But, do you think if it would have stayed green before this last caution that you would have had a better shot at winning this race here?
I don't know. I wish it would have gone green, obviously, selfish in the lead. I wasn't great getting into my box or out of my box all day on pit road. So when those guys beat me coming off pit road, I knew exactly what it was. And obviously, I wish it would have gone green there. I felt like I was driving as hard as I could just to get away from those guys with so little left in the race, but made it work, I guess. Made it up to P3 and salvaged it.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like, no, those guys, everybody was on top of each other. And there was one point that the top 10 were within a second. You guys were just walloping each other. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Honestly, just thank you for coming and broadcasting with us. Kyle and I are very happy to have you, and hopefully we can get some more sponsors. And Brad Peters helped us out with some of the broadcast stuff, so really thankful for him putting up for that. And if anybody else wants to sponsor us and watch a few broadcasts, obviously we put on some good racing, so come check us out. FCRL, we're waiting for some more broadcasts. We're waiting for some more sponsors, so thank you.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good third place finish tonight, man.
Thank you.
That was J.R. Houston. The third place driver, we will bring in the second place driver in Marcus Adams. Hey, Marcus, this is Bryce in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got you.
And so you fall just a little bit short. You end up second, but how did that race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checkered, man?
Well, it went pretty good considering I fell back to like 28th before the first caution came out.
Yeah, I was definitely looking back there, and I was like, man, this man's struggling. But it seems as the race went on, guys were learning the track a little bit better. Do you feel like once you got some more laps under your belt, it just started to come to you a little bit more?
Yeah, that first run, I oversaved. I saved too much. So after that, I decided to push it a little bit harder.
Yep.
And once we got down to like the last pit stop, I just started sending it.
Yeah.
Because the tires weren't going to wear out by the time the race ended, so
yeah,
I'll take it.
I mean, they definitely weren't, so I knew you guys were going to be pushing hard, but do you feel like there was anything you could have done a little bit differently to take home and win, or was it pretty much just everybody was just driving as hard as they could on that last restart?
I think I probably could have sent it earlier than waiting as long as I did, because by the time I got up to the front, I was really out of time. Yeah. Especially since Calvin and JR are teammates, so
yeah,
I just should have sent it a little bit earlier.
It's just too little, too late sometimes. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I gotta shout out the team. The people who support me. This is the third season of the league. I'm trying to go back to back to back with championships, so hopefully that'll happen. And you for broadcasting us for the first time.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good second place finish tonight, though, man.
Thank you.
That was Marcus Adams, the second place driver. We will bring in the race winner and Calvin Allison. Hey, Calvin, this is Bryce in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
Man, say come home with the win. How did the race go for you overall, though, man?
I was actually surprised. I think we started the race at a 94 track temp, and when we finished, it was 81. So the car changed a ton throughout the race.
Yeah, I was definitely looking. So can you confirm, was 1 and 2 shaded and 3 and 4 in light, or is it opposite there?
I think 1 and 2 was more shaded than 3 and 4, but with the way the sun went down, it seems like they had the weather sped up or whatever for this race, and the track cooled off, and I just kept getting tighter and tighter at the end. I had to keep adding more and more fuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's always weird when you're like, oh, this car's so good, and then just later in the run, you're like, why am I not turning as much? And it starts off slick, and then it's gonna get tight, and drivers have to change how they drive. But was there ever a point in the night where you were like, man, I just suck here? Were you pretty confident the whole entire time? Especially, really, main question is, how nervous were you on that last restart, knowing you had everybody behind you and nobody was saving tires at that point? Everybody's going as hard as they can.
Oh yeah, I mean it's nerve wracking at the end, especially with the 1.5 tracks, and you start on the front row because as soon as you come off a tube, people have your draft, and then you're just trying to keep them behind you so they can hopefully get a little bit tighter than you are on entry with no air on their nose. But I was able to keep JR behind me. I think he wound up third, unfortunately, so it's nice having a teammate to push me there at the end on that final restart.
Yeah, it's this track, once you get side by side, I mean, the draft is so heavy. I knew once they got side by side, it was pretty much your race to lose. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Just big thanks to JR and Bolts. They keep me prepped. I mean, JR's real life engineer, so he's pretty on top of his things with pit stops and whatnot. And Bolt's keeping my car fresh all year long, being sponsored by him. So it's good to have.
All right, and I will let you go. Good win tonight. Go celebrate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
That was Calvin Allison, the race winner. I will go over the finishing order here now. Calvin Allison first, Marcus Adams second, J.R. Houston third, Chris Worrell fourth, Brandon Houff fifth, Gavin Hibbs sixth, Jared Wishon seventh, eighth, Zach Lindgren ninth, Brendan Kohler 10th, 10th, David Schildhouse 11th, John Craigton 12th, Kyle Chadwick 13th, Brad Peters 14th, Keith Smalley 15th, Michael Anthony 16th, Nathan Yarnell 17th, 17th, Aiden Kirker 18th, Jeremy Brown 19th is Alexander, not even going to butcher that name, 20th, Stan Carnathan 21st, Walker Thomas 22nd, Dylan Holland 23rd, Robert Ramirez 24th, Joe, don't want to butcher your name, so I'm not going to say it. We'll figure that out if I do future ones. 25th, Brian Jones. 26th, Kyle Smalley. 27th, Jordan Weaver. 28th, Austin Collins. And 29th, Chris Webb. Chris Webb was race controller, evidently, so really only 28 drivers in the race. But tell you what, that was a good race overall. I mean, that really was good. There wasn't many wrecks. Those guys were going at it the whole entire time, too. And that's what you want to see in leagues, is guys just race each other hard. They weren't dirty, and they were just on top of each other the whole entire time. That was definitely good. But again, this league, like they said, they're looking for more sponsors, so I'm only doing a select few right now. The next one I'm doing for them is Dover next month on the 26th. That's the next race I'm doing for them. So there's going to be a big break when this league is broadcasted, but you find them. They're called Four Corners Racing League. Reach out, sponsor them. That's going to allow them to be broadcasted more, because I think that these guys, they deserve broadcasting with the way that they're racing. There's a lot of guys in here too, and it would not be a bad thing if these guys picked up more sponsors. I think this league truly does deserve it with how they were racing tonight. That was really good racing. They're next gens too. I love next gens. I always have. But if you aren't subscribed to Ghost Racing Network and you're watching this on replay or you're watching it live, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that helps us grow. We are at 538 right now. Think we can get to 600 by the end of this month. No doubt about that. I think it is very possible. But I will let y'all go. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow in the Ghost Cup series. If y'all are bored, Austin is streaming the FEG Money Racing right now. They are at 8 laps to go, but I will let you all go. Hopefully, y'all have a good day.